that fought the war as well as came back and built this union. And also at their age, we were figuring that the youngest was probably in their early 80s and as high as in the high 90s, so we knew that this would be once in a lifetime for these men and women. And also we wanted to show our appreciation for what they did for our country as well as for our union.
To see these proud World War II veterans who laid their life on the line for our country, for freedom and democracy, and also the individuals that helped found this union. I mean, I couldn't help but think, remember 69 years ago when he joined, what this union looked like and how his efforts and his courage and all the other World War II vets and members that were there have changed the face and destiny of the Laborers International Union.
Many of these veterans brought a militancy to the labor movement, to the point that in the 50s and 60s, especially in the construction industry, our members realized that in addition to better wages, fringe benefits were needed to protect themselves and their families. Thus the advent of health and welfare and pension funds.
I mean, there's so many things that these people gave us that we just take for granted today that, we wouldn't have anything today without these men and women, without their struggles.
They participated in some of the largest construction jobs that this country had ever endeavored to build.
When you look at all the major infrastructure projects that those World War II veterans were part of, after they saved the world, they came back and built the United States of America.
And they came back to a country that was ready and willing to grow, and they went right to work. And they didn't say anybody owed them anything. Everything they did, they earned.
Well, I think it's important for us to honor those who have honored us. When you think about last night's event, which I have to say will go down in history of this international union as one of the greatest evenings that I've ever witnessed, and everyone that was there would attest to the same.
Well, we're talking about people who sacrificed their life and limb for not only the protection of we in this country, but people in other parts of the world.
They just walked away with the feeling that, what a great leader they got for a president of the Laborers International, and how proud they were to be part of that, and to be able to say, I went to the Laborers International headquarters and met the general president, as well as his father. His father gave an outstanding talk, a very emotional talk about how proud he was to be a veteran.
Everybody here today is a family. We are a family. We have the same blood flowing through our veins. We have the same principles. And it's because of people like you who suffered life and limb that, with the help of God, our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will never, ever, ever face what you face. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and it's wonderful to be one of you. Love you.
He was overcome with emotion. He's a proud serviceman. He's a proud Marine. And while he fought in the Korean War, not World War II, you can't help but be inspired. You can't help but be awed when you're in the presence of greatness, and that's what we were in last night, the presence of greatness.
Actually meeting and talking to each and every one of the veterans individually to make sure that they knew that they were very, very important both to our country and to our union, and how proud they were that they fought for our freedom and also fought to build this union to what it is today.
And I got to shake hands with the president, which I never thought I'd ever get to do. Terrence Sullivan, and then I see where he gets his moxie from his dad.
Well, I really enjoyed, shaking hands with him, and we told We talked for about 15, 20 minutes.
And he made a great, wonderful speech. And, you know, it kind of put tears to your eyes and things that you get a feeling, you know, that he's truth, he was speaking the truth.
It was very pleasant for them. You could just see it almost like they were young kids seeing a prize. You know, I mean, something they wanted to see. When you talk to them, you know, I always wanted to see this. I didn't think I was ever going to see it.
Oh, that was something that Wally took a picture of me in front of the D-Day monument. There at the, you know, they got the states, Illinois, Missouri, and all that.
And the spouses and their family, the guests, were just as excited as a veteran that they could see this. So and when they were walking around it, you could just see the amazement that they were being honored in this way, as well as the young people that came up to them that would talk to the veterans and thank the veterans. I mean, these men were so proud.
Just about made tears come to my eyes. All the kids asked all kind of questions. I had over a dozen kids come to me, ask. Back there. I really enjoyed that.
They're so humble, and which the whole generation has been a humble generation. So it goes right to the age 91. They're still very, very humble people. Look at their accomplishments, both as young men, 18, 19, 23-year-old men, going off to war, leaving a family behind. Maybe if they weren't married at that age, they're leaving their parents, their brothers and sisters, and they didn't go over there for a 12-month tour, 13 weeks. They were over there 3, 4 years. They came back, they went over as boys, they came back as men.
You can only imagine if we hadn't been victorious in World War II, what this country, what this world would look like today. And we have those dedicated World War II veterans to thank for what we all have as Americans today.
I looked up in Webster's dictionary here the other day the definition of a hero. A person